Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on AI video games because, no, I think that's what people are trying to do because AI is pretty much being used for everything now. Like, you see where people are using it to make YouTube videos, people are using it to make TikTok videos. Like, AI is everywhere. And, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's probably people that, not so much as to, like, make a video, but use it, to, like, help them make a video, like, right now, the script or something, like, AI is pretty much being used for everything, but video games, movies, music, I feel like it gets to a point where it just, you gotta stop it, because, like, here's the thing. I have heard of some AI songs before. I think Playboy Cardi, he had some AI music being made of him. And even though, like, the music is AI, like, it did have good quality. It was overall, I wouldn't say that it's better than his actual music. But overall, though, yeah, it was like there were some songs of his where I thought it was actual real songs. And, like, okay, maybe he just hadn't released these songs just yet. But no, overall, like, that's why I did a little bit of research and seen that the music was AI. And I'm like, okay, like that's what we're doing now. We're making AI music. I don't know, man. Like, I guess if I could just talk on AI like music and movies and all that stuff, because I guess there is some, like, it's either a movie or a TV show that's coming out here soon where it's the whole thing is done through AI. So it's like there's no actual actors, there's no stuntmen, there's no, it's just they're just using an AI software. And just to talk on that real quick, like, it gets to a point where with the AI music, because I know with me, I remember I was kind of using it for fun, because no, there was this one software I remember I would use where you could record like just some sentences and stuff, and then the AI software would, like, generate your voice to pretty much be used for anything. So yeah, I was having myself singing, rapping. It was funny. Like, I more so used it just for my own entertainment. But as far as trying to go, I guess, global with it, like, oh, hey guys, like, listen to me sing a Taylor Swift song or whatever. No, I can't do that. It's one of those things where I'm like, as a joke maybe, but as some, like, real life, like, I'm trying to compete in the music, and no, I can't add AI music of myself to Spotify. Like, that's one of those things where it's just, and and that, now just sitting down thinking about it, I honestly could see Spotify coming out with an update like that, where they was like, oh, here's the AI, what is it, like, do it yourself, but, like, yeah, DIY AI, where it's like they have it set up where you just record some lines and then you can make yourself sing whatever songs you have saved to your Spotify list. Like, here's the thing, I thought of that, but I don't want something like that to actually happen. Like, I guess, like, maybe for some entertainment purposes, but you really have to sit down and think about it. How long is that form of media gonna last? Eventually it's gonna get to a point where it's kind of like how, speaking of video games, where it's like, yeah, the first level, second level, third level, it's like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. It's like, all right, I'm interested. Eventually the game has to end, and that's how I look at this AI media, where it's like, okay, eventually it has to end. People are going to want to see your talents on music, movies, TV shows. And if you're using AI to do all of that stuff, it's like, bro, ain't nobody going to be, they're not going to be watching or listening to it, so. But anyways, no, yeah, let's overall talk about AI video games, because that's one thing that I have been seeing a lot, at least on Steam. I haven't been seeing it on PlayStation or an Xbox, but a lot of people are using AI to, I guess, either help promote their game or help make their game. Like, there's some content in there where it's AI, and and that, the thing is this, like, with some content being AI in a video game, like if a person's like, oh, I made some AI art, or the characters are spoken through an AI like voice thing or something, that I can understand, because you might not have the funds to hire an artist or a voice actor, and that's why at times, like, I'll go and say, like, hey, if you guys need a voice actor, I'll do it for free. Just give me the credit. I'll take the credit. I just want to be able to say, hey, I did voice acting in a video game. But no, there be at times where people, they, because I did, like, voice acting for I don't know, Grand Theft Auto or something, therefore it's like, oh, I gotta set a standard. So instead of, I guess like with me, if a person that was making a video game, video game developer, if they approached me and was all like, hey, I'll give you $20 just to say a few lines, I'm like, hey, yeah, sure. I'm like, I did it for free, but $20 is $20. Like, I ain't gonna be mad about that. But I guess somebody, because I'm not in Grand Theft Auto, and I think even if I was, like, I know people probably would ask me, would I still do, I guess, like, free voiceover work? Yeah, if there's a developer out there where it's like they overall, like, and my thing is this, though, it's like, you gotta be serious about your video games, like, because I talk about that all the time, like, there be at times some developers, they just not serious about video game development, they just trying to make some money, and I'm like, yeah, you can't be doing that, like, that's one of those things where I guess if I did see that, and I did do free voiceover work for that video game, and seen that the developers, they was just only in it for the money, no, I would call them out, just be all like, yeah, that was like, no, even though I did that free voiceover work, I'm like, that ain't a good game. Like, that's one thing about it. I ain't afraid to speak in my mind. I'm like, yeah, you ain't gonna see me crashing out and breaking my own equipment and stuff. No, I'm just gonna roast the developers in the video game that they made and stuff. So, but no, overall though, like, I can understand why some developers would do stuff like that. But to use AI to make a whole video game, and I say that because I remember there's this video that went viral on Twitter some time ago, and they was all like, oh, is AI video games the future? And it was the most, like, what was that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Inception, or, Inception, that was the name of the movie. I don't know why I was getting ready to call Interception. I'm like, this ain't football, so, but no, anyways, that's what it had looked like. It just looked like one big giant dream, like, nothing had made sense. They showed where the guy is running down the street shooting, then all of a sudden the train just came up out of nowhere, fires all over the place, water somehow, and I'm like, fam, what's the goal? What's the objective? Like, I guess, like, if you call the video game Fever Dream, and then that's like, okay, then yeah, maybe, possibly, but I'm like, wouldn't it be easier just to develop the game and you have an idea? Because that's one thing about it, is that AI is never accurate. Like, that's, there's been times where I've used AI just to do research on stuff. Like, if I can't find it through Google, then I'm like, all right, let me use Chat GPT. And and there's no disrespect to Chat GPT, but I'm just saying there's been times where I'm like, it'll say things, I'm like, that ain't accurate. That ain't the information that it's like, because I can, like, for an example, I can look myself up right now on Chat GPT, or just be all like, hey, who is TMossBoss? And Chat GPT is going to give me some old off the wall answer. And I'm like, all right, but that's the thing though. It don't really know too much about me. So it's like, how is it going to give out an accurate answer? And that's the thing where I'm like, yeah, I just think a little bit more work needs to go into that AI software, I guess. Like, and yeah, maybe if that is the case where AI is just a little bit more, because when I sit down and I think of AI, I think of how AI was when it very first came out. What was it, like 2-3 years ago, where they had and it's funny because he'll post that video from time to time, Will Smith, where it was like a video of him where it showed like AI videos for the first time. And he was eating, I think they was like, had him eating spaghetti or something like that. But the video, look, it's one of those things where if it was a movie, I think a lot of people would be upset, because they're like, why not just have Will Smith actually sit down and just eat a bowl or play the spaghetti or whatever it was and stuff? Why do you have to use this AI video? Like, the fact that we waited all this whole year for this movie, and you gonna have this AI scene in there, or this AI movie, and it's like, and it's of horrible quality and stuff. So that's why I'm like, man, when I sit down and I think of a video games are already in a bad state. Why would you think using some form of technology that was discovered a few years ago versus a game developer that, and yeah, that could be the case too, where it's like I said, with the art and the voice acting, where it's like there might be some game developers where they're like, hey, I want to get paid this amount of money and stuff if I'm going to be developing this video game. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe in situations like that, negotiate a contract. I feel like that's, so yeah, if the game takes off and it does well, then it's like, okay, you'll make this amount of money. But if it doesn't take off and doesn't do well, then you'll make this amount of money and stuff. Versus it's like, hey, I'm just gonna pay you all this money. I don't know at the end of the day if you're good at what you're doing and stuff. But yeah, overall though, I think I would rather go down that route of being like, okay, let's just see where the game goes. But it's like, yeah, I need your help with this development, or just go and do the development myself. But I think I would rather do that that than to be like, okay, let me figure out the AI software and just be like, hey, make a shooting game. And this AI software, it's kind of like a genie when you ask it to make you 3 wishes and stuff, and it's like, oh, I wish to be rich. Yeah, you don't know the side effects of being rich and stuff. So that's why I'm like, with the AI software, you don't know the side effects of when you ask it, hey, make a shooting game, and then this thing just generates whatever. So that's why I'm like, man, people, you know, if you're going, my thing is this, if you're going to make a video game, you have to actually sit down and develop it, because you have to, like, think about it like this. All right, like this podcast episode, for an example, imagine if this whole podcast episode was AI. People would be mad about that. Or imagine if I start doing reaction videos where it was AI. People would be mad about that. Now, if you're using it to, you know, for funny reasons, entertainment, you know, purposes, but it's like stuff where, because I know, like, for me, there is the one app, Sora, where it's like this AI video app where I was like, yeah, I had me walking on Mars. And then there was this one moon, I believe it's a part of Saturn, called Titan and stuff. It was a Titan or Io? I can't remember what moon it was, but overall, I had myself walking on the moon and the planet. Stuff like that, because I know I ain't gonna never do that. Unless, like, yeah, you know, next year they come out with some spacecraft where anybody can get it and stuff. But other than that, it's like, yeah, bro, I know I ain't gonna never go to no moons that's like however many miles away, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of miles away. So that's why I'm like, yeah, stuff like that, okay, cool, you know. But overall, though, using it for, and I just think that if AI, if it's used properly, then it can possibly work out. So yeah, like I said, like, you know, for the voice acting, some AI art and stuff, you know, yeah, I can see that. And I know that they're like, if they do use it for movies and stuff, because I think it was, what movie was it? It was this movie with Justin Long, and I think the wolves or not wolves, but it was a movie, I think, was it wolves or was it something else? I can't remember. I don't think it was foxes. Was it foxes? I don't know, but him and his family were getting attacked by some rabbit-looking animals and stuff. And I feel like, hold on for a second, I gotta look that movie up, because I was like, nah, that's just crazy. That's like, it wasn't even too long ago when I watched that movie. But no, it was a good movie. It was definitely one of those movies where I was like, nah, it's like I wasn't expecting it to be as good, but it was good. It was pretty good. Coyotes, that's what it was. Okay, I was like, nah, I knew it wasn't foxes, because I'm like, they just don't seem like that they'll cause that much damage like how they were in that movie. But I'm like, and it wasn't wolves, because I'm like, I feel like the movie would have been called Wolves and stuff. But no, yeah, it was this movie called Coyotes, and I think the foxes in there, it did look AI. It did look a little AI. I don't know. It could have been, it could have been like some, real looking foxes or whatever. But overall, it looked AI to me and stuff. But yeah, I guess like if it is being used for a movie and it's done properly and there ain't no mistakes and things, I'm like, all right, cool. But that's one thing that I can think of where they did use it for a movie, and I'm like, fam, the movie is so old. You would think that it would have worked, but they did kind of like change it up for the experience. But no, at the it's the Sphere, the Vegas Sphere, where they had like this Wizard of Oz show, and you could kind of tell there were some parts of there that was AI. And I'm like, man, I don't know, like I was watching it and I'm like, man, I think they could have did this differently, or at least waited on it and stuff, like tried to figure out some other things to do in between, but then made sure of it that they got this down right, when they start premiering it and stuff. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, I see stuff like that, and then it's like people want to add AI into a video game and stuff, and I'm like, nah, bro. It's one of those things where I'm like, AI still has a lot of years to catch up to, what, like all the stuff that's being used today. So yeah, it's like an AI video game. I just personally don't think it'll work, and I'm seeing, like, there was this one video game called Everest. It was a mountain climbing game, and they had like an AI trailer, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why not just show the gameplay? Like, fam, I'm not trying to see no AI trailer, especially if none of that stuff that's being shown in the trailer is not going to be in the game. I'm trying to play the game. I'm trying to see what the game is about. And yeah, it was crazy because that game got bad ratings, because they was all like, nah, the developer, I think what they did was just slapped up a button. They call it what is it when they like, not AI, but it's like, there's a name for when they go and use like a bunch of different stuff from, it's like a store, because I think it's through like Unreal Engine. There's like a store that you can get assets. That's what there's like asset swap. And and I think that's what the person did. They just went and slapped. Yeah, they still got this AI trailer. Yeah, they're making it look like you racing, you got jet skis going up to like the top of the mountain and stuff. And it's like, yeah, when you look at the trailer, trailer, it's like, fam, I think, what is this supposed to be, a zombie? Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, bruh, you definitely could have did that one differently and stuff. But yeah, it just, and people, they do that. They'll go and they were like, okay, well, I know the game's not, it's not gonna be all that good, so let me just go and get this AI trailer. And I'm like, fam, no, you can't do that. That's one of those things where it's like, nah, you either need to, and then when you actually, because I think next to the AI trailer, there is the trailer of the actual game itself, and it don't look nothing like that AI trailer. So it's like, you'll see that AI trailer, and that's the messed up part about it. It's like, people would see that thinking, oh, okay, like, this is what the game's gonna look like. I guess if somebody don't really be paying attention to AI that much. But me, on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I didn't see it. I guess because I'm a content creator, you know, I have to look into stuff like this. But yeah, overall though, the game itself, it just, yeah, they're showing like like a giant snowball ran up. What was that? This person, I don't think they had no idea what they wanted to do with this video game, because it's supposed to be a mountain climbing game, but about Mount Everest. And yeah, this game, I can see why they got it on sale, and then outside of the sale, it's $9.99, because I'm like, there's no way possible you honestly thought people were gonna pay money for this game and then because I think there is a demo. I don't know if the demo is still available, but yeah, it looked like it's like a bug sticking out of it looks like something from Helldivers. Like, it looks like something from Helldivers, and then there's something next to it where it's like, it looks like, I don't know, like Legend of Zelda, like it's like some glowing rock or something. But yeah, that just don't even make no sense. I'm like, why they would do that. But yeah, it's like, fam, you shouldn't have did that AI trailer. It's like, what you should have did was actually, you know, work on that game. He had enough time, like whoever the developer was, like they had enough time. And I mean, if it wasn't enough, then it's like, okay, you shouldn't have promoted to make it seem like that this game was going to be coming out soon if it wasn't going to be fully functional and fully developed. I'm like, yeah, you should have thought that one through. But yeah, I just think there's some people out there, they just want the check when it comes to video games. And that's the thing too, where it's like, I feel like that with that, whoever this guy is, unless people, because I'm trying to, let's see if there's any reviews where people put over 2 hours into it. Yeah, one person, that's crazy. One person put 15 hours into this game. They went on to say, blatant scam, fake AI trailer. They have a food and water gauge that literally do nothing that literally do not do anything. There's no inventory food or water in this game. So wait a minute, how are they going to expect you to get food and water if there ain't no food and water in the game? That's crazy. But yeah, for the most part, everybody done played this game under 2 hours. And yeah, it's probably a lot of people that done went and asked for their money back. So it's like, you guys sit down and think about it. Whoever that developer is, you most likely had spent more money making the game, quote unquote, making the game. And then on top of that, putting the game, because I think it costs, I can't remember how much it costs to put your game on Steam. Hold on for a second. Let me just look that up real quick. How much does it cost to put your game on Steam? So putting a game on Steam requires a one-time payment of $100 or the regional equivalent via the Steam direct fee for each game you wish to publish. The fee acts as a gatekeeper to filter spam as a refundable if the game is generating at least 1,000 and just, okay, so it's pretty much $100 and stuff. And so it's like, yeah, you gotta put $100 up to like go and put your game on there. Then it's like the game ain't even good because half of it was made through AI, then the other half was made through like halfway development and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, people, y'all gotta do better when it comes to this quote unquote content and stuff. But yeah, with the AI content, it's like, fam, the thing is this, if you can't make it through AI and then you also can't make it like in, you know, outside of AI and stuff, it might be best to just leave it alone. You know, it don't make no sense to make a AI video game and then the game don't even end up being good and stuff. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.